What up, though? Let me get this off my chest real quick because this wasn't even about to be part of my log, but it just hit me that I've really been wanting to get this off my chest for a few weeks. And no, it's not about your president. It's not about Donald Trump. My brain hurts talking about politics and whatnot right now, so I need a break. So we're gonna go to another topic today. Uh, if you were if you were a black man, you were born in Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas. You were born in the Kansas cities, right? Uh and you have adopted this whole pause because what you said sounded gay movement. Take your ass back to the East Coast. That's some East Coast shit, right? Take that shit back there. If they want to be gay like that and everything that somebody says is construed as gay to them, let them have that. Don't bring that shit to Kansas City. You dig? So, because you are poisoning the minds of kids, of young boys, and it's already too much shit out there as it is for them to grasp onto in regards to homosexuality. Don't make them think everything somebody say is gay. So I work uh around athletics and athletic stuff, so you know we have a lot of balls, right? So kids will come, ask for a basketball. Bam, here you go. Hey, can I get another ball? Sure, here. Bam, here's another basketball. Hey, bring my balls back. Hey, man, pause. Pause for what? What are we pausing for? Man, that just sounded gay. To who? To who did it sound gay? What was gay about bring my basketballs back? Let's take the basket. Let's take the basket off. Bring my balls back. Didn't sound gay to me. Who did it sound gay to? Why did it sound gay? Because balls has different meanings. Balls is slang anyway. But because balls has a different slang meaning, when I give you two Wilson basketballs and I say bring my balls back, oh man, pause. It sounded gay. To who? That's that East Coast shit. You'll see it on music videos, you'll see it in movies, you'll see it in all that, but you only see it on the East Coast. Keep that shit over there. Don't bring that shit here. You know what I'm saying? So because everything everything somebody says that can be construed as gay isn't. So quit trying to gayify every goddamn thing. It's man, leave it where it is. If they want to do it, that's their culture. They do that. They got shit that's different than the way we do it in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? Leave that shit there. All right. I really didn't want to talk about that long. I just had to get that off my chest. Cause all these little dudes, man, they gravitate toward it because it sounds cool to them, and so they're gonna gravitate towards things that they believe sound cool. And so if it comes, leave that over there. Anyway, um, hopefully, not, and I say this with all due respect, hopefully my guests show up tonight. I got some guests tonight, so I want to be my plan um was to talk about relationships, various aspects of relationships. Now, if you tuned in to Notoriously Opinionated before, you know that you know words have different meaning. I found out today the word, what was it? Set? Was it set? A three-letter word. I think it was Set, had 400 different meanings. I believe it was the word set. I heard that today. Haven't really researched it, but I got to look into that. Like if a three-letter word got 400 different meanings, I got to look into that. I need to see that. I need to see that for real. So, but I plan to talk about relationships today. And hold up, is that one of them? Gotcha. So yeah, it's gonna be a real relationship topic show tonight. I seen and it came from, and I'll get into this a little later after the break. But it what sparked this particular, well, at least a portion of it, was a question that somebody on Facebook posed, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do a show about that. I gotta see what the deal is. I want to see what people's opinion is about that. So we're gonna get into it. Um, and the question was, nah, I can't give it to you this early. I just can't. I can't give it to you this early. So I'm gonna hold up till after the break and then bring it out. But so one of the reasons why I'm like, yeah, I'm not talking about Trump today. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about this bogus ass war in Iran that didn't get congressional approval. I'm not talking about how it just keeps circumventing the Constitution. I'm not gonna talk about none of that. You know, you're not gonna hear none of that come out my mouth. You're not gonna hear none of, okay, maybe a little bit. And here's how. Because whether you're talking about politics or whether you're talking about relationships, especially in this administration, we're talking about how objective and subjective truths keep getting bounced around, right? They keep getting bounced around. So you got objective and subjective truths, right? Scrap, what's the difference between an objective and a subjective truth? So the difference is this. Uh an objective truth is true for everybody. Like, objective truths don't care about how you feel. It don't care what your religious belief is. It don't care what your perspective is. It doesn't care if Melania likes it. It doesn't care about the drapes. It doesn't care about any of that. Objective truths are true for everybody. An example of an objective truth is this, because it really don't matter. At 0 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level, water freezes. It don't freeze depending on how you feel about it freezing at 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It don't freeze at 33 degrees Fahrenheit. It don't freeze at 1 degree Celsius. If it is 0 degrees Celsius or below, water is going to freeze. If it is 32 degrees Fahrenheit or below, water is going to freeze. It's not asking your opinion. It don't care what God you believe in. It's going to freeze. Period. Right? If you take one thing and another thing and count them, you have two things. Not one thing, not three things. You have two things. That's it. That's an objective truth. Subjective truths rely on all the things that all right, so objective and subjective truths rely on the observer and the observed. We'll say that. Whoever is observing versus being observed. right? So a subjective truth is completely reliant on the experiences of the person. So it's how I feel about it, right? So an example may be and men go through this all the time. It's cold in the room. You'll hear your girl say it. It's cold in here. It is 72 degrees. What are you talking about? It's cold. Cold to who? But it's her truth. To her, it's cold. To you, it may feel fine. It may feel fine to you, right? But to her, it's cool. She's freezing, right? And there may be a number of reasons. She may have anemia. There may be a number of reasons as to why she's so cold, right? But it is what it is. But you can't say that's not her truth because it's a subjective truth, unless and until she tries to pose her subjective truth as an objective truth. That's where we have a problem, right? Because it depends on the mind. It depends on subjective truths, depend on all the things that objective truths don't rely on. Objective truths don't care what you believe in, don't care what God you believe in, don't care what your religion is, don't care what your political belief is. It doesn't care if you're male or female, happy, sad, angry. It doesn't matter what range of emotions you have, where you're at on the political line, whether you lean left, whether you lean right, whether you're in the middle, whether you're a moderate, whether you're a conservative. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care. If it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit outside, it is the water that comes down is going to freeze. Water wherever is going to freeze. If it is 75 degrees in a particular room and somebody says they're cold, you can't really say that they're not, because you're not living in their skin. It just is what it is, right? So, and again, so objective truths change from person to person. So if it's 10 people in the room, five are women, 5 are men, and 5 girls talking about they cold, and 5 guys is like, what the hell is you talking about? They're all experiencing the same subjective truth. It's just real to all of them. But what makes it subjective is that it's not real for all 10 of the people in the room. Nah, because it could still be real for all 10 people in the room and not be true for anybody else that walked in the room. That 11th person might come in the room and be like, man, it's hot in here. The hell? So objective truths are going to be truths for everybody, and subjective truths are just true for the person. All right, so my guests haven't got here tonight, but we're gonna keep rocking it out. So I'm just gonna, because I be having to think of alternative shows, if you will, in the event that something happens with my guests. And so that's what I plan to do. So and if they show up, we're gonna rock with the regular course of the show. And if not, we're gonna keep it pushing tonight on Notoriously Opinionated. Let's go. All right. So um here is always somebody want to text me while I'm doing the show. Thank you. Um so so here's the thing. Um First off, I'm thinking I'm gonna like this Friday shit. Let's just kick that off real quick. I think I'm gonna like this Friday shit, right? Because I have not had to rush. I have not had to scramble. I got some rest. Got to wake up and work on the show, right? And I am happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Because, when like you can do a really good show using your monitor on your computer or your phone or whatever and still have a good show if your content is good. So ultimately it depends on your content as to whether your show is deemed successful or not, right? But I wish I had a mirror and could show you like my little setup here. Anybody that's ever seen my guy Johnny, you tell you I did a live for him at Rockhurst a couple months ago, and he was like, "This shit looked like a movie set." Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But so so here's the thing. What I was saying earlier about a post that I saw a post, and it asked the question of I'm not okay. I'm gonna get to what the actual original post said, right? But I'm curious. Okay, okay. So you got women that have what they call a 90-day rule, right? Let's just unpack that real quick. A lot of times, women will go into a what they call it, a personal spiritual journey, right? Uh, Nine times out of ten, it's some fuck ass dude that created the situation for her to go on this personal journey. It might not be a fuck ass dude. She might have been a toxic ass broad. You know what I'm saying? You never know. I mean, the blame always gets put on us, but it's not us all the time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's us. Sometimes it's the woman. Sometimes we got to share this toxicity, So it just depends. But for whatever reason, there's women that go on these spiritual journeys. I'm on a journey trying to find myself. That's cool. We do that too. We do that too. We be trying to find ourselves, same way y'all do, right? Uh, but during this journey, what tends to happen because of another motherfucker, let's keep that in mind. Because of him, right? You want to put me on 90 days lockdown to where we can't have sex for 90 days. We can't have sex for 90 days. It's a 90-day rule, right? Uh I I don't I I don't think Steve Harvey and Think Like a Man created the 90-day rule, but it got severely popularized due to the movie Think Like a Man, right? So the 90-day rule has been in effect for quite some time now, right? So when women are asked, hey, what is the 90-day rule for? Oh, well, I'm I'm celibate. Here's the proper time to pause. So I'm not saying I don't use the word pause. I just don't use it to pause for something gay. So when I say pause, it's because, okay, interjection. Pause real quick. So pause. Um, you're celibate. Yeah, I'm celibate. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm positive. I'm celibate. Yeah. I can almost guarantee you that you are not celibate. I can almost guarantee you know, unless there is a nunnery that you are about to attend, you're not celibate. So here's why I say that. All right. So celibacy is misconstrued, right? Celibacy, despite popular opinion, originally meant that you were abstaining from sex, dot, 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 and marriage for the rest of your life. That's what it is to be celibate. Nuns are celibate. Priests are celibate. They are not going to have sex and or get married for the rest of their lives. For the rest of their lives. Not at the end of your spiritual journey. You don't get to start fucking again after your spiritual journey is over. No, celibate means you are never getting none again. You are never giving it up again in life. Maybe when you come back, you won't be celibate again. But in this life, if you are celibate, you are not having sex or getting married. Now, all the whole, oh, well, I'm celibate till I get married. That crosses out half of the whole thing about being celibate. You just crossed out half of the whole thing. Because half of the whole is that you're not getting married. That's half of the whole. What you want and mean to say. I almost merged those two words. It was about to be wean. What you want and mean, wean. What you wean to say, what you mean to say, probably, unless you're about to go to a nunnery, unless you're about to become a nun. That's what I'm saying. Like there may be some of you that's like, you know what? Fuck these dudes. I'm about to be a nun, you know. I ain't dealing with men no more. I'm cool for the rest of my life. I'm about to go and for the rest of my life. I'm cool. I'm about to walk around in this little black apron, in this long black apron for the rest of my life. I'm cool. If that's you, you were celibate. If that's not you, then you're not celibate. You're abstinent. There's a difference. Abstinence can be done for a variety of different reasons. Most of the reasons is the reasons that you all say. I'm on a spiritual journey. I'm trying to cleanse my body because I got too many bodies. You know what I'm saying? I got too many bodies inside of me. I'm on a spiritual journey. I got to cleanse all this negativeness out of my system. Right? So I can be who I need to be for who I'm going to be with. I need to find myself. I need to, whatever it is, you're not celibate, you're abstinent. There's the difference, right? Abstinence is just you abstaining from something. If this thing that you are abstaining from is sex and it is for a reason, you are being abstinent. Abstinence is not just sex. You can abstain from whatever, you know. Sex just tends to be the popular thing that people say something about abstinence about, you know. However, the key thing is that you are not celibate. That is the takeaway point. If you don't take away nothing else, celibacy versus abstinence, there's a difference. Right? Okay, so there that is. So the thing about a woman's 90-day rule, right, is normally we're not having sex for 90 days, but we need to be getting to know each other during these 90 days. right? So during these 90 days, we need to be getting to know each other. And as we are getting to know each other, uh we have to go on dates and all this different stuff. Hmm. So for 90 days, because you're abstinent, we ain't gonna have sex. You ain't gonna give me none, but we still are going out on dates and doing that. Who's paying for these dates? Am I? Oh, I'm paying. I'm paying for these dates. Oh, okay, okay, I'm paying for the dates. To where the question then becomes, and this was the post to finally get to it. If a man approached you, Miss 90-day rule, and said to you, I have a 90-day rule too. I don't spend money on dates. I don't spend money on women the first 90 days I get to know them. I don't spend money. You know, I got to get to know you first. We have to go on dates and I have to see that you can sustain yourself and take care of yourself. I have to get to know you and see how you are with money, you know, because then I can probably get a gauge of and juxtapose how you spend your money versus how you spend mine, right? If when you are forced to spend your money, we go to Chick-fil-A, right? But when we spending my money, we're going to the steakhouse. Huh. Both of our meals cost about 15, $16 when you're paying for yourself. But when I'm paying for both of us, each of our meals cost about 50 to $75. Hold on, wait. That math ain't mathing. Uh why why when you paying for your own meal, you want to go to Chick-fil-A? But when I'm paying for your meal, you want to go to J. Alexander. That math ain't mathing. Huh. So I'm not spending, I don't spend money. I have a 90-day rule of my own. I don't spend money on women for the first 90 days, but we still have to go on dates. Would you dating? Would you date that dude? Would you date him? I'm reading the comments. No, no, nope, nuh-uh, no. Why? But you'll implement a 90-day rule against sex. So here's the thing. Men make money to attract women. We we simple. You did. We simple for real. We don't need a whole lot. I am a testament to that. We don't need a whole lot to survive. You know what I'm saying? Not only not survive, we don't need a lot to be happy and thrive. We just don't. We don't need a lot. It's not in our wheelhouse to need a lot of money to thrive. It's just not. So when we make all this money, we make all this money to provide for our woman. We're not doing it for no other reason. But there is what's called a fair exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like we want sex, you want money. You don't necessarily, and this don't go for all women. So I'm not going to say so this is subjective truth. This is subjective truth. A lot of y'all don't necessarily care about I don't even believe that. So, well, no, because that is true. A lot of women don't care about sex. They just don't. A lot of women don't care about sex. Don't care about who they sleep with. And then there's a lot of women that do. You know, a lot of women are very particular as to who they have sex with. Very particular, you know. And then you have men. This is subjective as well. A lot of men don't care about how much money they spend. A lot of men is like, hold on, baby. Why? I didn't say you could supersize that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't, you didn't get the green light to supersize that. So the question is, would you date a man who had a 90-day and told you off the flip? Told you off the flip. You know what I'm saying? Y'all about to y'all making plans to go out, see each other, this and that, and so. And you hit him with, all right, now I know I'm looking sexy and I ain't got a whole lot of clothes on from the start of this date, but I don't want you to get any ideas because I have a 90-day rule. We have to see each other for a minimum of 5 days a week and talk to each other at least once those other 2 days. And we have to go on dates 3 of the 5 or 4 of the 5 days out of the week, but we can't have sex until 90 days, until we've been doing that for 90 days. No, or because I think in the movie they had to go on 90 dates or some crap like that, wasn't it? I think it was 90. Did they have to? I ain't seen anything like a man in so long. But I think it was they had to go on 90 dates. That's not a 90-day rule. That's a 90-date rule. Do you know how much money that is? So if you got a 90-date rule and I got a 90-date rule, your 90-day rule is we can't have sex until we've gone on 90 dates. And my 90-day rule is I don't spend money on a woman until we've gone on 90 dates. We both got a 90-day rule. You gonna date me? Mr. 90-date rule. I'm not spending no money on you for 90 dates. You gonna date me? It was so many no's and nopes, and I was like, dang. But you can have this 90-day rule or 90-date rule or whatever you want to call it and rock that joint out. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's super crazy. But I was just curious. If you have any comments, send me what you think in the chat. Would you date a man who had a 90-day or 90-date rule, right? Could you hang out consistently with a guy like that for 90 days without him spending no money on you? Nothing. No bread. Could you hang out with somebody like that? All right. Even though I'm about to transition to another topic, continue to if you want to comment on that particular question, feel free. Because I know, hey, shout out to my guy, Mustafa Hollywood Duro L to the third. He's got a show called Concrete University. It comes on Wednesdays, I believe, at 7. You can see it on YouTube, not YouTube. You can see it on Facebook. Concrete University, right? So check that out. But I heard him say, never mind. Hold on. I'm gonna get to that in a second. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree that every day doesn't have to cost money. It might be a good exercise to see how the two people can find ways to enjoy each other without spending a bunch of money. I can completely, totally agree with that. Unfortunately, other women, as it was said in the comments, do not share that opinion. Like, they was like, he ain't spending no money. I gotta pay for my own meal on a date. Oh, nope, 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 nope. I'm talking about they were at the it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, huh, wonder what kind of chick you are. To where if you got a 90-day rule that we ain't fucking for 90 days or 90 dates, I'm telling you, that 90 date thing is even more crazy. 90 dates is crazy. You telling me that we not having sex until we go on 90 dates? Do you realize? Okay, so that goes to, like, you got how men and women got different maths. Men and women got different senses of direction. Men and women also got different sexual sexual maps also. 90 days to a guy that want to sleep with you, that's like a year. You may as well just say a year. We ain't having sex for a year. You may as well just say we ain't having sex for a year, because that's what it's gonna feel like to him. You know, just like the women are like, well, not spending any money on me for 90 dates is gonna feel like a year to me. But while shelter and sustenance are part of the hierarchy of needs, sex is too. Sex is on the hierarchy of needs. Now, it's for reproduction, but still, it's still on the hierarchy of needs, you know. And for men, we completely agree with it, you know. So it's like, that's not. But yeah, I mean, if more women was like, it could be a good exercise to see how two people can fight. Yeah, yeah, that's how it should be. You know, that's how it should be. And I'm not even saying, let old boy crack on the first date. I'm not saying that. You know, I'm not saying that, because then that leads to your spiritual journey, and you got to get all these evil spirits out your temple and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that. But I'm saying this, my subjective, notorious opinion, right? If you cool with not giving a guy any sex for 90 days or 90 dates, you need to be just as cool with that man not spending no money on you for those same 90 days or those same 90 dates. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So that's just where I'm at. But continue to comment on that if you want to, because it's still an open topic. But I said also, starting this episode, that and again, I can't understate that I might like this Friday shit. This Friday shit might be dope. So, I think I might stick with this. But I think it's important for women and men to really understand, because it's younger guys that watch my show, right? It's younger guys that'll comment on my show. And by younger, I mean as young as 15, you know. And again, younger to me goes into your early to mid 30s, you know. So that's younger to me. So younger guys watch my show that don't know themselves yet. There's younger women that watch my show. Now, I don't know how young the younger women are, but there's younger women that watch my show that don't know who they are yet, and may not understand the They may not understand why they need to know themselves, you know thyself, right? And one of the reasons you need to know yourself, and I've said this for decades, if you don't know who you are, how do you know who you want? How do you know the type of person that you want to be with, right? Outside of yourself, how do you know the type of person that you want to be with if you don't know who you are? You don't know what you like yet. You don't know the thing. You don't know, as my guy Brett said, man. Shout out to the homie Brett, man. Uh, as Brett said, man, he said, I need to figure out what I like on my burger. If you don't know what you like on your burger, how you know what you like on your burger? How you know what kind of burger to order? You don't know if you want your shit well done, if you want your shit medium rare. You don't know. You don't know if you like pickles, onions, uh mustard, ketchup, Dijon. You don't know what you like on your burger. And so you try different shit. You try different burgers from different places, you know. I'm not waiting 90 days or 90 days. Only simps and tricks won't indulge in intimate encounters with women while he's waiting. Hey, I mean, you got dudes, you got dudes that will respect a woman's 90-day rule, right? Uh and say, "Hey, I like you. I want to get to know you." And so if 90 days is what it takes, I mean, but at the same time, women play games. There are a lot of women who are on not one near another spiritual journey at all. They are not on near another spiritual journey, right? Not one. Not a solitary single spiritual journey are they on, right? But will tell you that they are on a spiritual journey and that they have a 90-day rule. But getting cracked by this dude over here. Get out of here. Stop it. Stop the shenan and the shenanigan. Stop it. Because you're not being honest. You know, here I come, Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Respectful, Mr. Trying to really get to know you and understand who and how you are. And so by respecting you, I'm going to respect your 90-day rule. And so we're going to go out, we're going to go on dates, and I'm going to pay for the dates. And we've been doing this for 90 days. And 90 days, you haven't had sex with me, but you've been cracking Joe Blow over here for the last 90 days. And he ain't bought you shit. He ain't spent a plug nickel on you, right? But every single night got you looking like a 747. Nah, nah. So there are those that get down like that, right? Which is kind of what shies a lot of men away from the 90-day rule, because it's like, anywho. Uh so yeah, I mean, I feel you, but then there's guys and there's girls who are really serious about it, and it may not necessarily be 90 days. You know what I'm saying? Because even in the movie, old girl in the movie was like, I was about to augment my 90 days for good behavior. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna give you something in 45, just because we've been getting along so well and doing so well and all this and all that. It wasn't even about the 90 days no more, because I found out what I needed to find out about you in 45. And so I was gonna give it up. Right. Depends on the girl. Subjective truth. All right. So what I was about to say was, I I can't I was thinking about things that men, like I said, I have younger men and younger women that watch my show that are still trying to figure out who they are. And I was like, I need to put out a list of things that people need to know about men. Like, these are things that are important to us, you know, critically important, right? They're vital, you know. So every week I'm gonna try to put out at least four things that you need to know about a man. Four things you need to know about, not four, not four, or not four, but four, right? Four things you need to know. All right. There are so many, right? But I had to try to break them down into a top 8 if I'm gonna do 4 a week. And I would say that these are in no kind of order, but actually I'm gonna try and put them in order of importance, you know. And again, so while this list is subjective and even the order that I put them in is subjective, it's my notorious opinion. I'm not asking you to agree with it. I'm not asking you to like it. It is what it is for me. So, the first thing I would say that you need to know about men as to what we need to have a sense of purpose, right? We need to have a sense of purpose. That purpose looks like we have to have a why for things that we do. We have to have a why. If we don't have a why and we just scrolling through our day, you talking about somebody that don't know themselves. But once you know yourself, right? We have to have a why. Men have to have, why are we here? What can I do? How can I be of utility? I have to be useful. If I'm not useful, why the fuck am I here? Why the fuck am I here if I'm not useful? If I'm no use to anyone, why am I here? It makes no sense to us. To me, let me say that. Let me say that. This is not, I'm going to tell you as a man how I feel. These are Scraps needs as a man. I need purpose. If I don't have a purpose for my life, why the fuck am I here? You know, why the fuck am I here? You know, so a sense of purpose would be the primary thing. We have to have a sense of utility because for me, utility equals self-worth. If I have no purpose, I'm worth nothing. If I'm not going towards a purpose, I have nothing. I am nothing. So, purpose would be one. I would say right behind that, immediately behind that, could take the place of that in certain situations. No, purpose is number one. Just bar none. Purpose is number one. Right behind purpose, though, is respect. Men will kill and die for respect. Respect and competence. Competence is my thing, right? Which is why so many black men feel a certain kind of way when we get around certain kinds of white people and we have an extended vocabulary, right? Um, and it may not even be an extended vocabulary. We just know how to use the words that we know correctly. You know, it may just be that we know how to use the words that we use correctly, and we put it in a very colorful way, right? Then we're told with this extended vocabulary, oh, that's a really good word you used. And you used it correctly. You you expected me to use it incorrectly? The fuck? Not only get you slapped. Cause you just disrespected my competence. Like I know how to speak. I choose to use slang. Just like I choose to speak with proper vernacular. You know, it's a choice. I'm multilingual, right? You can put me in the hood of Harvard and and I can communicate with the locals. You put me in the hood, I can speak that language. I can speak that language. You put me at Harvard, I can speak that language. The hood of Harvard, I can do it, right? Um the constant thing with men is when you would value respect over love. Yep. Not that we don't want love. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that if you made us choose and you made us put it in order, love for us, stop, pause. Love for me will come after respect. A woman has to respect me more than she loves me. Because if she respects me, the love is guaranteed. The love is a given if I'm respected. So that is what it is, you know. And we have to feel competent. The reason I blend competence with respect is we have to, well, nah, competence would actually go up. Because respect is on its own. Competence is gonna go up with purpose because not only do we have to have a purpose in life, we have to feel like we good at something. You know what I'm saying? Like a man, stop, pause. I have to feel like I'm good at something, which is why I try so hard in everything I do because I don't want to not be good at it. You know, we have to be good at something, whatever that field is, whatever that fundamental requirement is. We want to knock it down. We want to seal it up. You know, whether it's uh I'm a good dresser, or I'm good at carpentry, or I'm a good fisher, or uh I'm good at uh I'm a good fighter. I resolve conflicts really well. I'm a good communicator. Whatever it is, um be it massages or sex, we want to be good at it. You know, we want to be good at something. We have to be good at something. So there that is. Um I'm not gonna get to matter of fact, I'm gonna leave it at two for right now. And I'm gonna leave it at two for two reasons. A, it's getting dark. The best light that there is, normally I have my lights on and I can, kind of shade my show the way that I wanted. But today, because of daylight savings, God provided all the light. God, God provided all. That's the best light you can have. I'm a cinematographer, right? And so, like any cinematographer would tell you, the best light you could ever use to shoot a movie, a video, whatever, right, is the light that God provides. God provides the best light. You can't set a light as good as the sun, you know. So, but now the sun is waning. It's going down, so it's getting darker in my room, and I have no light set up. So, about to wrap this joint up. All right, let's recap. Objective truth is true for everybody. Subjective truth is only true for you. And two of the things that me as a man, and I believe a vast majority of other men need: purpose, respect, competence. So I'm putting competence and purpose together. So they're one, right? And I'm putting respect on its own level. So level one, purpose, competence. Level two, respect. So I'm gonna do two more next Friday, and I'm gonna do them till I have all of the top 8. It might end up being a top 10, top 12. Hell, I don't know. But I'm gonna say top 10 right now. I'm gonna say top 10, right? If it ends up continuing to go on, it just is what it is. But if this is your first time tuning in, Notoriously Opinionated, welcome. If you've been rocking with the kid, I've been doing this show for 5 years. I did not know that. If you've been rocking with me for all 5 of these years, welcome back, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that tunes in to Notoriously Opinionated. I thank you for following me to Fridays. Let me know in the comments if Friday is a better day to do the show. It's better for me. I'm cool with Fridays. I'm thinking I'm gonna rock this Friday shit out. But let me know. Let me know if you like Fridays at 6. If it needs to be a little later, I'm not going back to 8 o'clock. So even if I do it on a Friday, 7 o'clock is as late as I'm going to do it. But I think 6 o'clock, it gives people time enough to get off work, get in front of a phone, TV, well, not TV, but phone, computer screen, whatever you're going to watch the show on, right? And rock it out like that. So yeah. So I'm gonna hit these top 8, top 10, top 12, top, infinity. I don't know. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in to Notoriously Opinionated. Tune in next week. Next Friday. 6 p.m. Same notorious time, same notorious station. I'm Scrap the Film Guru. And until next Friday, peace. I'm out.